Today we're going to talk about reasons you should not move to the San Francisco Bay Area. I've lived here for over 30 years. I think it's a pretty great place to live, but if any of these reasons we talk about are deal breakers for you, it's probably best you know before you get here, right? I'm Erin Anderson and I help people buy and sell homes all over the Bay Area. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that the San Francisco Bay Area is made up of 9 different counties, all surrounding the San Francisco Bay. So let's start with the thing that probably most people think about when they think about the San Francisco Bay Area, and that is the cost of living. San Francisco Bay Area is definitely one of the most expensive places to live in the United States. Our housing prices are expensive and they just keep going up. Median home prices throughout the Bay Area are going to range anywhere from about $600,000 to well over $1 million. And I know that's a lot more than other parts of the country. Our gas prices are expensive. Right now, gas is well over $4 a gallon in some places. If you want to learn more about the cost of living here in the Bay Area, I made a whole video dedicated just to that, where we explore 5 different areas of the Bay Area and see how they compare to each other. Another reason you might not want to move to the Bay Area is taxes. California itself does have income tax, so you would expect to pay that. Also, our sales tax here in the Bay Area is pretty high, upwards of almost 10% in some places. So that's an added cost to anything you're going to buy. Also, taxes and restrictions on business here may be something to look at if you're a business owner or even work for a big corporation. There have been a few that have left in the past few years to go to states that have less restrictions and lower taxes. I know these are supposed to be the reasons you're not supposed to move here, but I gotta throw in a pro, right? Our property taxes here in the Bay Area are actually pretty low. This is one I have a hard time believing or understanding if this is a con for some people, but the weather. The San Francisco Bay Area is in a very mild climate. We have a little more weather than, say, Southern California. We definitely have colder winters. By cold, I mean the lows in the 30s, highs in the 40s or 50s. That's a couple months of the year, maybe January through March, we might see that. That's our rainy season. Summer times are, depending on where you are in the Bay, it could be anywhere from 65 degrees to 105 degrees. So there's a huge range of weather here, but if you're looking for that 4 seasons feel, you're not gonna get that here. It doesn't snow. We have a few mountain peaks that may get snow a couple times a year, but it's not a lot and it's not very often. In some years, we don't get enough rain, and that leads to drought conditions where we have to start to conserve water. Our lakes aren't as full, so that's not as fun when you wanna go boating in the summer. So that's something to think about as well. Something else a lot of people think about when they think about California is earthquakes. If you've never been through an earthquake, I could see where this would be scary. But like I said, I've lived here for over 30 years. I think I've been through maybe 4 that were like memorable big earthquakes. Obviously, the Loma Prieta earthquake in 1989, that one was a really big one.
We are over the Bay Bridge now, once again. A section of the upper deck has collapsed. There appears to be a rescue helicopter on the upper deck.
And I think that's what most people think of when they think of earthquakes. The last bigger one we had was in 2016. Certain parts of the Bay Area were affected more than others. My area was not. We had no damage here or anything. So I would say if earthquakes are a fear, just know that they are few and far between. Now, some other kind of natural disaster that does tend to happen a little more often here and more recently are wildfires. California has been known for the wildfires that they've had in the last few years. In the Bay Area, there are certain areas of the Bay Area that would be more prone to a disastrous fire, like the ones we've seen. The Oakland Hills, there was one in the 90s that destroyed quite a few homes. But for the most part, wildfires are going to happen in heavily wooded areas, more mountainous areas, and you can find parts of the Bay Area that are, lots of the Bay Area is more suburban and cities, so it's not as big of a risk depending on where you live. That said, insurance companies in California have added an extra fee for a wildfire, even if your home is not in an area that's at high risk for a wildfire. Another reason that the San Francisco Bay Area may not be for you is that it can be crowded here. Like I said, San Francisco Bay Area is big. We have over 7 million people that live right here in the Bay Area. And depending on where you live in the Bay Area, you may be more impacted than in other areas. One way that you may be impacted by that is traffic. Again, 7 million people, and probably a good percentage of those people are all going to 3 major areas within the Bay Area: San Francisco, Oakland, and San Jose. So traffic can be a problem during peak rush hour times. Even on weekends, if you're heading, it's a nice day and you're heading either into San Francisco from other parts of the Bay Area or to the beach, traffic can be a problem. It's just something you have to plan for. It may not be as bad nowadays, now that a lot of people are working from home, but I do know that it can still be an issue, especially during rush hour times. So that's it. Those are a few reasons I would think that people may not want to move to the Bay Area. But if those didn't deter you and you still think this is a place where you want to live, I'm happy to help you out. Answer any questions, put them in the comments below. I help people buy and sell homes all over the Bay Area, and I'd love to talk to you. Have a great day.